guys, this is Sandy White from Simply Fit, your number one health and wellness cheerleader and your number one advocate. Guys, remember being healthy is more than just exercise, and this is why we'll be talking with Miss Rachel Varga today. So she's going to be talking to you guys about all things skincare. But before we get into that, I do want to remind you guys our mission statement is to save 1 million lives. And the reason we want to do that is so that you guys can overcome suicide and depression. And the easiest way to do that is with simple tips and strategies with health and nutrition. So with that being said, I want to thank WYTV7 Community Broadcasters Network for allowing us to be on their platform, because we're able to reach out to a plethora of individuals that we would never be able to have the opportunity to speak with. And so what I'm going to ask you guys to do is go onto the website at wytv7.org and check out all of the wonderful things that we're doing in the community and see how you can bless somebody else while we're blessing you. So with that, guys, I want to let you know that they also gave us an opportunity to do a 30-minute free consultation. So if you go on to the website, you go to the broadcasters tab, click down on Simply Fit, you can sign up for a 30-minute free consultation so we can help you maintain, reach, and exceed all of your health and wellness goals. And that's just going to be a blueprint that is specifically designed for you. So now let's jump into all of the stuff, because I'm so happy that Rachel's on, because I got all my little gadgets here, and y'all, she's gonna tell you about some really good stuff. Check out the podcast so you can learn some stuff. That's why I got all my little gadgets out here, so I don't want y'all thinking I'm crazy. I was listening. So let me tell you guys a little bit about Rachel. Now, she is a double board certified aesthetic nurse specializing. She's been doing this since 2011. She's done over 20,000 procedures. She's an international clinical trainer for other physicians and nurses, which is excellent. So y'all can listen to her. And she's celebrity. She does celebrity skin. She's a celebrity skin expert. She's been featured on Bulletproof Radio with Dave Aspire. So check him out if you haven't, because he's great. And then Ask the Health Expert podcast with JJ Vergan or Vargan, she'll correct me. And then Dr. Kellyanne, she's been on here before. So guys, Rachel is a 4-time academically published award-winning author in the field of aesthetic nursing, as well as an executive board member and peer review for the Plastic Surgeon Nursing Journal. So she's going to be talking to you guys about how you can take care of your skin, heal your skin, look beautiful. Guys, when she comes on, you're going to probably pass out, because she's just as cute as she wants to be. And I'm telling you guys, listen, because your skin, you got it all over, so you can't hide it. So you might as well take care of it and listen to her so you can just look beautiful all the time. And then I'm not telling y'all to do this, but then you can really lie about being 21, because you're going to look, because she look like she's 21. So with that being said, Rachel, come on the show, and thank you for coming and letting us know about all of this. Oh, I was about to tell you to unmute.
Thanks so much, Sandy, for having me and for the introduction. I'm thrilled to be here and share this message of how we can be smarter consumers with our skincare, how we can reduce the toxic burden, and really kind of what is Radiance, which obviously stems from having a spiritual background, and talking about all these gadgets, what to use, what to avoid, and basically how to stay on the straight and narrow. That's what the Bible does for us. Keeps us on the straight and narrow, and that's what I do for your skin.
That's right. And look, the only thing so far I've talked about is, they got to keep their stress down, because stress will make you look ugly and wrinkle, and you're like, what the heck? And the sugar will just do a horrible number on your skin. So let's just jump into your story. Now, they know your educational background, but what's your story and your passion for skin? Because yours looks immaculate. So I'm like, seriously, just like, oh.
Well, I have a lot of fun with what I do. So the work that I do, it gives me a lot of fulfillment. And I've been able to do the work that I do in a way that allows me to also manage my stress. So that's sometimes what can happen when you decide to work for yourself and create new ways of living being and thriving. And when it comes to my story, I, have been in the industry for quite a while. Before that, I was a peds ICU nurse. So I looked after sick kids on ventilators. And actually growing up, my great grandma was the second ordained female evangelical minister in Canada. So I come from a beautiful, rich lineage within my family. I'm really blessed to have been brought up in such a loving Christian household. And it's funny when I've doing all this work with my clients, I started to really notice the clients that I was working with that were the brightest, that were the most vibrant, that had the highest level of what I'm considering now as radiance. And those were those with the spiritual background. So if you are feeling stressed out, just take some time, pray, kind of tune out the worries of the world. Remember to give that stress up to the big guy. He's there to help us out. And you guys are sweet enough, so you don't need to always dive into the sugar. But basically, if you want great skin, we have to look at managing things like stress, and in particular, things like inflammation and oxidative stress, because that truly is, in my scientific understanding, the root cause of aging is inflammation. So if we can take time for ourselves, whether that's reading your favorite book, like maybe the Bible in the morning or evening, just setting the stage right to start off the day or end the day, just to quiet your mind. Reading is great for that. Getting out in nature and making sure you're moving that beautiful body that you've been given. Go run, go exercise, do what you can, but give your body, mind, and spirit and energy the support it needs to thrive, and also the grace it needs. If you're having an off day, just to give yourself a little bit of grace. And the same thing goes with eating right and exercising and using the right skincare. We're gonna make blips, but it's about finding people to learn with, like Sandy and I, who you can trust and who are really going to help you bring your best foot forward and your best face forward. So to get great skin, you got to really start with the basics, with the body, mind, spirit, energy stuff, and reduce that inflammation, reduce that stress and cortisol and all of that. So happy to dive in further, but I know you have lots of other questions for me.
Yes, I do. I mean, and I always tell these guys to keep a journal and just write down what they're grateful for. And, one day start at 10 and then add on, because God is just awesome. So it's not like just 10 things He does each day. And I tell my kids, don't give me the same stuff, because you ain't got the same God that just blesses you the same way all the time. It's just awesome. So you got a whole bunch of stuff. And that journal, man, when you start thinking about the goodness, man, the stress just starts rolling off. But I do want to know, what are a few key things that we can, myself, the audience can start with today to care for their skin when they're at home, because you're located where?
I'm on the West Coast of North America. I work with clients all over the place, primarily about 90% in the USA, but also in the UK, Australia, and elsewhere. And yeah, it's just about all about doing the best we can where we are. I've been working with clients remotely since about 2018. So I
So
love
that's pretty
doing this work.
cool. So
Mhm.
how is that working with because that's like tele medicine or something like that. I think that's, I mean, because it's still Zoom, but do you guys have a different link? Do you have a different link that they log into so it can like magnify their skin or something? So, because when you're there under the microscope, you like doing this all on people's face, and you could, but when on the camera, people can kind of try to mask some of that, which is crazy if they're coming to you for help.
Yes, but if you do have a trained eye, you can tell when that Zoom filter's on. But, it's about having a conversation about what your personalized skin goals are. So that's where I come in. And a lot of common skin concerns that my clients have, and you can book your session with me at rachelvarga.ca. A lot of times it is things like loss of collagen and elastin seemingly overnight, especially from the ages of about 37 to 41 because of hormonal changes. Also, lots of things that my clients want to ask me about is how do I reduce acne? How do I get rid of hyperpigmentation, sunspots, age spots, melasma, reducing pore size? What do we do about low brows, hooded eyelids, dark under eye circles? Neck skin, creating a more streamlined jaw, how to get rid of and reduce fine lines and wrinkles. So there's so much that we can do. I'd probably say for me, it's about 90% home care and about 10% in clinic. So what you do day in, day out for your body, mind, spirit, energy, your self-care practices, you got to do the stuff to set the foundation. So there are a couple of basic things that I recommend everybody do. And number one, you do have to use products that are customized for your skin goals, your values, your budget, your lifestyle. And that's where I come in. But right now, what you can start to do is make sure you're washing your face twice a day. So morning and night, sometimes even not sometimes, always doing a double cleanse in the evening to initially rinse off the dirt, debris, oil, cosmetic creams, pollution from the day. And then your second cleanse is actually going to be washing your skin. And then always make sure you're doing a cleanse in the morning too, and rinsing off that cleanser fully. And then your moisturizer is going to be feeding and nourishing the skin. So look at like your skincare like a multivitamin, right? But you want all of your skincare to be free of specific toxins like parabens, phthalates, sulfates, artificial dyes, fragrances, not testing on animals. Mineral sunscreen every day, not the chemical sunscreen, some gentle exfoliation a couple times a week. And yeah, so it's really like there's basic 5 steps, and I have a free guide for that and all of that. So no matter what you're already using, you can optimize what you're doing.
So that sounds awesome. Can you jump into biohacking the skin? Is
Yeah,
that can
absolutely.
I be and tell with some of these products and gadgets that I got here?
Yeah, biohacking the skin is like the magic sauce. Like what you put on your skin, skincare wise, is great for feeding and nourishing the skin. But there's all these different things that we can do to actually improve our cellular function and our cellular health. And so I'm in my mid late 30s, so that's my chronological age, but my biological age is 26. And that's because I take the time to eat foods that aren't just healthy, but through biohacking different test kits, I've been able to determine through very specific gut tests and blood tests that are really simple to do at home for like a couple $100. It used to be a few thousand to figure out which foods are ideal for my epigenetics. So that's like biohacking 101 is figure out what you're eating and making sure you're not eating certain things that actually could be creating inflammation. So for me, that's things like tomatoes, bell peppers, kale, broccoli, lots of chicken. Those are actually inflammatory for my body, but you probably thought they were healthy, right? So what matters is what's healthy for you. So that's a great place to start with biohacking.
So what about is it let me see, is it a
I think the word you're looking for,
dermal roller, or is it considered the micro needling, or both? Or
yeah. So I've been working with dermal rolling with my clients since 2011. And in fact, one of the original researchers lives in the city where I live. So I have a lot of experience with this. Unfortunately, a lot of the dermal rollers that you're finding online and at stores are coming from the Orient. And those needles up close might actually not be needles, they could be blades. Also, the metal in them themselves could actually be toxic metal alloys, which could be a mixture of heavy metals. So the quality of the roller really matters. And there's actually only 3 brands that I trust that have been making rollers since the 90s. So there's a lot of there's a lot of really bad free information out there. There's a lot of really bad techniques being shown on YouTube. So I actually show my clients in one-on-one and my skin camps actually how to properly roll their skin, how to prepare the skin and the right products to use afterwards. But I don't think we can cover that in about 2 minutes here. It's a whole thing. But dermal rolling is incredible when done right for promoting collagen, elastin, and helping to reduce some hyperpigmentation. But you got to stabilize the skin first, prepare the skin accordingly, have the right roller, use the right actives, and then the right home care afterwards.
awesome. Guys, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back, and then Rachel's going to give us some more tips and strategies so you can look even prettier. See you guys in a little bit.
Hello, everyone. And I'm sure you're having such a fun time with Sandy and I talking about all things body, mind, spirit, energy optimization to bring forth a higher level of radiance and beauty. I would love to meet with you. Book your one-on-one session with me at rachelvarga.ca and use promo code simply-fit with 2 T's. And let's connect. I work with clients all over the globe. It will be my pleasure to be your guide and help you optimize what you're applying to your skin, make sure they're super clean, but also make sure that they're effective. We can talk about things like dermal rolling, different hair, skin, nail supplements, and ways to support your aging journey, not only superficially, but also on the inside as well, through biohacking, body, mind, spirit, energy optimization practices, and much more. After the show, be sure to hang out with me on the Rachel Varga podcast, where you'll get sort of daily hits of inspiration and encouragement to help keep you on track and stay on the straight and narrow so that you continue to be your brightest, most radiant version for many more years to come. Enjoy the rest of the session with Sandy and I here on Simply Fit.
All right, guys, we are back with Miss Rachel. I'm gonna make y'all laugh again because I got some more gadgets here, and she probably gonna tell me online. Y'all better not laugh at me. You laugh and don't tell me. She probably gonna tell me throw them away. All right, so Rachel, I'm gonna put them up. So like I have allergies and I have to wash my face, like you said, in the morning and at night. Otherwise, I'm like really, because it's like all in there. So I'm stopped up. My eyes are puffy. So I went and got this one. This is supposed to be a battery operated one to kind of press down the fluids, and I'm sleeping on 2 pillows. And then I have one that's not battery operated, but it's got this little tip on it. And I know looking at your face, you like throw that in the trash.
Well, to make it simple, yeah, because you got perfectly good fingers here. So let me break this down for you. You mentioned a couple of things. So you have allergies. My dear husband is allergic to everything cute and fluffy. So we got lots of outdoor animals on our properties. But let's talk about biohacking for a second. You could actually be exposed to different things in your air and also even your lighting that's contributing to inflammation and oxidative stress. So I have a background of 10 plus years actually in ophthalmology and oculoplastics. So I understand the eyelids very well. And the eyelids are actually, and the eyes in general, are actually one of the easiest places to look at and see, are you inflamed? So if you are noticing diffuse redness to the lash line, a little bit of puffiness, and that can be a sign that there's some inner inflammation that you need to work on. So that's where biohacking comes in, and make sure you're eating the right foods to be doing things that are going to reduce your toxic load in general, and using clean skincare products free of all those toxins while still being effective for mature skin needs. That's the caveat. So that's where I come in. I work with like 13 different skincare brands. Trust me, not one brand is going to fit all the needs for my clients. So I got to sift through it all. So you mentioned you're using products for addressing like puffiness to the eyes. There's actually a supplement right here that I actually did some research on. And I did this research alongside a surgeon on the other side of the country. We both saw the exact same findings with different photo equipment and things like that. Within about 3 weeks, I did my study for 6 to 8 weeks, and he actually did some photos at about 3 weeks. But you actually, with a particular supplement that contains superoxide dismutase, I'm happy to share what this is off camera when you connect with me, because we're not going to mention like brands and things like that in the show here, but it contains a potent antioxidant, and it's called superoxide dismutase in this one. And it, for 1 molecule of superoxide dismutase, it neutralizes 1 million up to 1 billion free radicals. There's also omegas in there too, and collagen. Those are the 3 key supplements for healthy skin. So you have to daily be monitoring the different points of inflammation and toxins you're exposed to. So your air, using proper air purifiers, making sure you don't have LEDs in your home, because the blue light penetrates about 3 times deeper into the skin than what you get outside, and what you're eating and how you're living. So the eyes are a gateway into inflammation. So there's some definite work that we can do. And so you have a couple of things, or you have a jade roller and a battery operated roller, and then something that's like a device with a tip. So I'll tell you right now, those types of products are going to probably end up in the drawer where products go to die. And then shortly thereafter, they'll end up in your garbage and in the landfill. We need to start being more conscious, smarter consumers, and not just purchasing things that we're led to believe that are going to fix everything. So use your fingertips. I just did this demo in one of my skincare programs where I walked you through how to actually wash your face. And during that, you can actually use your fingertips, which actually your fingertips emit energy, believe it or not. I actually have a machine right over there that measures the light energy that actually comes off your fingertips. It's fascinating. This has been researched for decades, but probably never heard about it. So you can actually
No.
use your own fingers to flush out stagnant lymph. And so you flush out stagnant lymph from the head and the neck when you're cleansing, putting your products on, getting that lymph drainage, and then new fresh lymph with new micronutrients, promoting circulation will come in. So you don't need those devices. You just need your fingertips.
Yeah. Yeah. Clean fingertips, people. So,
While you're cleaning your face, actually, is the
right.
perfect time to do it.
So, what are the most radiant clients doing in regards to their body, mind, and spirit themselves? Now, you touched on that a little bit at the beginning, but what can we go a little bit deeper for the folks that are
Sure.
listening and viewing?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I started to take notes from my most vibrant, radiant clients and what they were doing. And generally, these were men and women aged 60 to 80. And I started to make some key observations in these individuals, and they had various body, mind, spirit, energy practices. They were making sure they were working out. They were doing some type of cardiovascular training, strength and conditioning, flexibility and mobility. They were doing things to stimulate their mind, whether it's music, arts, crafts, things like that. They have a spiritual component to their lives, whether they're Christian. Usually it's Christians that I notice have the most amount of radiance. And we even heard this in the Bible, bones vibrating or Jesus actually having a glow on his skin. That's actually in the Bible. And then monitoring their energy. So getting good sleep, making sure we're grounded. I'm actually literally like plugged in, wearing some pants here into a grounding outlet so that when I'm working, I'm still grounded so that my blood will flow better. So this is another biohack thing. I actually wrote a whole ebook on this called Unlocking Your Vitality that you can get at my website, where I kind of expand a little bit more from basically the playbook of my most vibrant, radiant clients. This is really the foundation. Do the foundation stuff first, do your skincare, do your dermal rolling at home, but you need proper guidance. And then if there's things that are maybe still bothering you with your skin, I can give some insights as to what then to, maybe do in the clinic for rejuvenation and things like that.
So, without, because I know a lot of this, you guys really need to do a one-on-one consultation, and that's because everybody's skin is different. So she can't give you like she can give you generalized stuff, which is what we're doing here, but certain things that will work for me may not work for somebody else because you may not be having allergy sinus challenges. So I hope you guys are not like, she's not giving me detail. But I do want to jump into a little bit more of the holistic health for the skincare, because I love the fact that just clean everything. I mean, you can't get away from total toxins, but you can limit them as much as possible. But what do you mean when you're talking about holistic health for your skincare?
Absolutely. Well, making sure that you are hitting the different 5 points that I talk about in my free sophisticated skin guide. So cleansing, moisturizing, sun protecting, exfoliation, and sometimes maybe once or twice a week, like an at-home mask or exfoliating peel. And then making sure that you're using products that are specific to your skin needs. So I don't even have my own skincare line. That takes years to formulate. So I have to work with about 13, and I highly customize what my clients need. Um, but I'll tell you one thing right now, whenever you see those like skin quizzes and then it spits out some product recommendations for you, that's the cookie cutter approach. That's like an AI algorithm as opposed to like talking to someone. And everyone has different comfort levels with ingredients, budget, lifestyle, things that we need to take into account also. But the holistic aspect of it is not just showing up to a practitioner to do things for you. It's really taking ownership and doing your healthy living, your body, mind, spirit, energy practices, throw in the biohacking, throw in the healthy skincare, AM and PM routine, add the dermal rolling, add the, 3 key supplements, but make sure that they're always third-party independent lab tested supplements, not these gimmicky skincare products and supplements and gadgets like what unfortunately, Sandy, you've succumbed to. Uh, right? Save your pocketbook. Just stay on
Right.
like the straight and narrow, do a couple key things, and then you're going to end up having fewer products and spending less money on things that you don't need or that are going to, really waste your time and money. So spending some time a couple times a week to do your dermal rolling. And then I actually have another device that I like to recommend that actually can push peptides into the dermal layer with one application. It creates a little bit more space between the cells too, and allows your products to be absorbed deeper. So how dermal rolling works is like aerating the lawn, right? And then there's a
Right.
little spike on the barrel, creates a little channel of injury in the lawn. And then you put hopefully it's not Roundup and things like that, but you put things on the lawn, and those little holes in the lawn allow the products to sink in deeper. Same thing with dermal rolling and microneedling. So you have to be very careful what you're actually putting on the skin after dermal rolling, because they're getting absorbed about 100 to 1,000 times deeper. And I'll tell you right now, that YouTuber that's showing you how to use your dermal roller, every time I've gone online to see other people showing techniques, I'm just sitting there like,
So
oh, good
when
gracious.
are you supposed to roll in one direction? Because they say you can just roll all over. You're not supposed to. Is it in one? Because when they aerate, they're not all over your lawn. I usually see the guy in one direction. So is that one direction on your face? Because I mean, I'm telling you, they're like, just go all over. Do it on the back of your hand. Do it on your stomach.
Yeah, there's definitely a method to madness. So I show you how to do it in a session, and then I actually have a download that you can then take home afterwards and answer questions. But basically, for the face, we're doing 4 different directions. We're going vertical, horizontal, and then on an angle in an asterisk type pattern. And then on the neck, chest, hands, you're usually just going 2 directions, like vertical or horizontal, because the skin, get this, actually off the face is more sensitive than on the face. You might think it's the opposite, but the skin cell receptors actually off the face are different. So there is a different type of care that's needed. And there's different types of varying pressures to do. There's different depths. So dermal rolling is a very actually in-depth topic to approach in a few minutes. But there's a lot of prep work leading up to it. You got to stabilize the skin first, right? And then start to introduce the actives a couple of nights a week for about 2 weeks, like copper peptide, lactic acid, hyaluronic acid, retinol, glutathione, vitamin B complex. We want to stabilize the skin first with like some basics, like the 5 that I kind of mentioned, and then start to introduce like a Monday or a Friday, like a retinol for about 2 weeks, and then start to introduce the dermal rolling. So there's this whole method to the madness to keep it simple, but keep it concise. Because if you just kind of like do whatever, Bill Bob and their uncle are showing you to do on YouTube, you could do your rolling, apply a product, and then have like a pretty serious reaction. I've seen people do this with certain lactic acid products. I saw it was a video of a young man. I get such a kick out of these things. but he had put something on his skin and then dermal rolled, and he's like, oh my goodness, my face is on fire, I don't know what to do. And then he had this like terrible puffiness reaction. So you have to be very careful
Well,
with
yeah.
what you're using. So trust me, I've got you. I've been doing this a long time, probably longer than I'd like to admit.
No, no, we didn't say this to scare you guys, but guys, you take lessons to learn how to drive a car, and hopefully you went to counseling before you got married, and it was longer than an hour.
Good
Like I
point.
went for a whole year. So I'm just saying there are things that you put time and effort into. You got to train and you have to properly learn, which is basically what we're basically sharing here with you. And so Rachel's offering you guys a one-on-one consultation, and she's doing 15% off. Just put in the code Simply Fit. My broadcast name, so it's Simply and then the hyphen and the Fit, and then you'll get 15% off. Rachel, I think we have about like 2 or 3 minutes. Tell them how to reach you, and what is the ebook something that they should start off with, or start off with the consultation? You tell them.
Yeah, well, there's lots of free stuff I do too. So the Rachel Varga podcast. So subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. You can find my past episodes over at rachelvarga.ca/blog. Sandy, I'd love to have you on the show also to share this amazing platform and network that you host also with my audience. So this is like the beauty of this online world is we can send and receive and share with one another. So stay tuned on the podcast. It's like free daily hits where I kind of like talk about different aspects. Actually, today I talked about dermal rolling, redness, and hyperpigmentation, things like that. And yeah, book your one-on-one with me. I'd love to meet you and give you that like really concise plan for what to do at home, what to do in clinic. And then I'm like your secret best friend in your back pocket. You can email me anytime you have a question. I love being in my inbox and answering questions for my lovely clients. The ebook is also a great place to start. It's like $14 and it's kind of like that guidebook, but the biohacking is really cool. So that's a big part of the show. And then there's some skin specific biohacking options for that cellular health that I alluded to. That's all on my favorites page on my website as well. So lots of free stuff. And then I have a really easy to follow 5 steps to sophisticated skin, which is kind of what I alluded to. And you can actually just download that when you join my newsletter at rachelvarga.ca. And then you got my email. You can reach out anytime.
Awesome. Well, guys, this has been a wonderful segment with Miss Rachel. Make sure you sign up for your one-on-one consultation. And hopefully when you work with me, you can videotape it and then you guys can kind of do a before and after with me. But I would love to come on to the show. We could set something up. And look, guys, don't forget, we broadcast every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. So check your time zone so you don't miss any of these wonderful segments. Because I'm telling you, look how beautiful her face is. I mean, you got skin all over. So just make it look beautiful. Stop hiding it. And plus, summer's coming. You don't want to be out with all these heavy clothes and covering up your face with a bunch of makeup. You want to look as pretty as possible. And makeup, I'm telling you, is only supposed to enhance it. So work with Rachel so she could just bring out the beautiful beautiness that God provided for you. Until next week, guys. Thank you, Rachel, and see you all next week. Mwah!
Thank you.
You're invited to the Smart Strategies for a Slim Body Masterclass hosted by Integrative Healing Arts and Simply Fit. Throughout the demonstrated masterclass, you'll learn healthy habits that will slim you down, like making time for exercise and finding a quiet place for meditating. Throughout the masterclass, you'll learn about acupuncture and sleep, as well as balanced meals and responsible snacking. For more information about the May 21st masterclass, just click the registration link that you see on the screen.